Welcome back to Magic with Melly. Hello. So, it's another Melly Monday here on Magic with Melly. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your presence here as always. We do look a little fuzzy here now, so let me see about fixing that. There we go. Sorry about that. That's a lot better. Okay, we're gonna start off with the cover tarot card, the judgment card. All right, we're gonna be I feel like I'm channeling a lot of you making decisions based off of like having your own judgments towards a new perspective perhaps towards things that have always been, and bringing together, like, is this for me, is this not for me? I think this kind of the situation going on with a lot of our collective. The title here says recover strength, discover love. So I feel like a lot of the collective is just trying to choose better, trying to move on. That's the judgment card, but also it came out of the giant Rider-Waite today was the Chariot and Knight of Swords. Really figuring out, my light turned off, but that's all right. I'll continue because the lighting's not too terrible in the room minus the ring light. But here we are with the Chariot and the Knight of Swords. Here really just deciphering this energy, what is worth going towards. Knight of Swords, I pick up energy towards protecting, forming words towards protecting your passions, having the words to speak up in like when an opportunity presents itself. I think a lot of opportunities kind of flop because we don't even speak a phrase that could have maybe been a catalyst for the entire night, had you not even said hi or approached a person, your whole life may be different. And I feel like here it's really deciding, like, having more action forward energy and more excitement energy towards even considering going to an event. I feel like I resonate with this a lot because I'm wearing a Lucrezia shirt, and that before the event even happened, I had a whole ton of social anxiety. I feel like that's just something that resonates throughout the collective, in not just like on a daily basis, but everyone feels that every now and again. And if you've been feeling that recently, social anxiety or even just holding yourself back, we're going to be kind of putting a halt to that and being more confident with where we're at, what we're doing, what we're choosing. I think that's beautiful energy, especially because this is these were the cards that got shuffled out. Judgment was the back of the deck energy, and then behind Judgment is this 8 of Wands. So again, being more future forward, more action forward, more ready to take on adventures. The Hanged Man, just not being at a standstill so often anymore, not being in this limbo energy anymore. I think we're just coming out of this depressive episode that some of us had over the holidays. But I think some of us are also here for a little bit of a love reading, like how to guide towards something like a more loving energy, regardless if you're looking to be in a relationship or not. Just looking for how to be more loving towards yourself, I think, is the energy that we're looking for. As usual for Melly Mondays, I have 2 tarot decks and pre-shuffled oracle cards. I have the Modern Way Tarot coming out, and also the Naked Heart Tarot coming out, and all of these oracles for you. So let's see what's going on with the collective, and if the messages here in the beginning have already validated you, then hopefully messages come out that work out for you here in the tarot, or this is the part where you validate yourself. Whatever works. But feel free to let me know in the comments how it resonates. Also, let me know if you need a personal reading, because not every single thing is going to apply directly. If you need help finding yourself, finding your situation more specifically, I got you. Okay, I'm going to be channeling lots of things here for the collective. Okay. So, coming out, I'm seeing 10 of Cups reverse, 4 of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, the 7 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Pentacles. And back of the deck energy, 3 of Cups. Okay? So as I'm reading this, I feel like we, with the 10 of Cups reverse, just you are, some of us are in a situation of a lot of things that we thought made us happy aren't making us happy anymore, or you know, you have either recently realized that or are realizing that now, or you know, it's catching up to you, that some of the things that you had, some of the decisions and choices that you made in the past that you thought would bring you somewhere, or put you somewhere, or give you some sort of feeling like happiness, or you know, like you had some sort of expectation, it didn't work out for you in that way. But I think some of us actually feel fortunate that it turned out the way that it did, because you wouldn't like everything has led up to now. I feel like this is a reminder from Spirit, if you don't already feel this way, that that you wouldn't be here now without, you know, if you hadn't had the specific thing, like experiences that you've had, the version of you that exists, the one that is right now, right here, right now, did make those choices, and sometimes I feel like there's a lot of unhappiness, mostly with yourself, because of where you've been, that like you feel like shame. You have seen both your good and your bad, and you want for the most part, you want your good to shine through, and you want people to deem you as a good person. But it's okay to make mistakes. You know, I feel like we put a lot of weight in our mistakes and think that we're only seen by them, and sometimes we are, okay? So but if you can't really get over, if someone can't get over your mistakes, and that you have like learned from them, you know, like that's when you need to start protecting your energy and protecting what you have, and the fact that you're here today, and working on the improvement, and that's not being seen. That's a separate thing. That's separate from you. That is someone else's perspective of you, and being able to like detach and like know like what you are working on, and know that you are golden, and that you are, you know, that you have like these elements of like you are worth waiting for, you are like deserving of love, you do have these things that make you a very unique and special person. And so you do, like, it's okay to hold on to that, and in the dating scene, in the dating realm, or even when it comes to connecting with your friends, I feel like there's a lot of comparing going on, like when you see your peers and they have a situation going on that you kind of wish you had going on for you, you sort of also distort happiness, or like you're perceiving other people's happiness and then replacing someone else's happiness, and then like being like, where's my happiness? And it's like, well, you're that's like a placeholder, like you're placing your happiness on a situation or a type of event like happening a certain way, and it's like you can always transmute and be happy right here, right now, like everything is as it should be. And I feel like that is in my yoga practice. My instructor definitely from time to time will have this mantra, like, don't all is as it should be, and she'll have that as a mantra while she's guiding us into meditation. I think that's just a really wonderful like affirmation to have is just trusting that things are the way that they're meant to be playing out, even if they are different from what you had wanted or expected to experience. And I feel like, and I was just channeling a message on this, like this on Twitter, where it's like unexpected, maybe super unwarranted, you know, unwarranted energy is like really uncomfortable, but it may be your luck returning to you in some way. And like, we do have good luck or bad luck, but just take it as it is, and like really transmute it into like finding your opportunities, really living and experiencing and being you, like choosing you, and really like flowing with your community by, I really think you can add to your community by really being who you are meant to be. And I feel like there could be some limitations, right? If your society or the community that you reside within, you don't always come to agreement when it comes to you know, like not everyone's going to come to a perfect alignment or agreements, but just weigh those things out and really figure like, is this an environment that fits me? And kind of make those adjustments, make those changes, and like allow yourself to discover like where you're meant to be, what like where what your preferences are. Because even if like, yes, everything is as it should be today, that doesn't mean that you can't change things so that your tomorrow can be better, or that your next few days or your next week or like your next few months will be better. Like, you know, it's all about what happens today that fuels tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And so just really hang on to, you know, like don't hang on so tightly to the past, because if things, you know, if something was making you happy, it's no longer making you happy, the force that you're working against is this thing that's not making you happy. And what would be easier is going towards what is making you happy. And it's like you're holding really tightly onto something that is no longer serving like a good purpose anymore, right? And so like it could be quite hard to come to this realization depending on the circumstances we find ourselves in. A lot of us maybe have children, maybe have bills to pay, you know, like a job, like switching jobs isn't such an easy task. And it's like, if you're not even filling out paperwork, or like all you're doing is stressing, at some point there will be a turning, like a catalyst, like a turning point of which you will not be able to take it anymore. And make sure that the action to preserve or even move forward occurs before you reach a point of, quote, not being able to handle it. Because, you know, like you don't deserve to do that to yourself, to overexhaust yourself, to overtire yourself, overwork yourself, or be stressed out or for that long. You know, like a lot of it is with our action, and there is things that are out of our control, but there's an element of, we can minimize how bad like things can get. You know, bad things happen to one another all the time, but we can definitely, you know, reach a hand out and be helpful towards our friends, especially if we find that they are deserving of, you know, they've showed up in a way for you before, and, you know, returning the favor. A lot of us maybe do need to return some favors, but altogether I feel like just being not so afraid of being open to one another, and not being so afraid of taking your opportunities when you do have them. I feel like we do take some of these opportunities for granted, like both in the sense of when they are happening, we don't say enough like that we're thankful or that we're enjoying the experience, but also sometimes the opportunities, we take them for granted because we were there in a position we could have made, like you could have taken some sort of action that would have projected the opportunity to even occur, but then like because the action wasn't taken, the opportunity flopped. And that's like neither the universe's fault nor your fault. It was a choice. You know, you make a choice to take an action, and that action leads to this. It's like a domino effect. So if you don't take an action, then don't be surprised when the opportunity flops, you know? And so, like, I feel like this reading is all about pushing you more forward and to be more forward, right? When you see someone that you're interested in, being the one that says, hi, I am, you know, I am Melly, you know, who are you? Like, you know, like, make your presence known, make your opportunity be known, or even have a chance. Really, and that can apply to love, that can apply, like, you know, in a romantic setting, but love can be found anywhere. Like, I think we apply love to an exchange between another person, but love is it like a situation more so, I feel, with yourself, and being able to choose. Like, I love practicing singing, or fill in the blank, playing, I'm hearing playing soccer, or some of us really enjoy like it's very random things, okay? Like, some of us enjoy collecting things such as toys or cars and cards. Working on cars, I think, is where I was going with that earlier. And like, there's all sorts of different hobbies that people fall to. And so with falling or discovering love and rediscovering your strength, I think it's just remembering, like, you can be whatever and whoever you want to be. Just be more action forward on it, and, you know, with the consistency, you can definitely make your situation grow and expand and become more than just you doing it out of your room, if you really want to, you know, like it. And I really think that if you follow closely anyone's journey, from the near beginning, or even like just like look back at the story so far, you can definitely find me as an example, many other artists as an example of just starting from nowhere, starting from somewhere, you know, and like just expanding on that, and taking your opportunities as you see them, and not letting one pass. And if you do pass, you know, don't hang on so tightly to that. It's like, you did make that choice, and it was a choice in and of itself, and your respect for yourself is all about being strong in your decisions, and being like, you know, like, you made your decision for a reason, and if you chose differently, it would have came out differently. And it's like, if it didn't turn out that way, so you can't change that. You can't change how something happened, but you can change how you would like to be in the future, and how you want to carry yourself now, and yeah, you choose that. And, you know, who you were in the past doesn't make you who you are today. You make who you are today. All that stuff is actively something that's occurring right now, and that is the gift. That's why we call it present. And the past is the past, you know, it's behind us, it's already past. And the future, you know, we can always look forward to it, but looking too forward can bring our hopes up if we're there and not doing anything today. But anyway, let's move forward to the pre-shuffled oracle cards. Love to see that. Okay, the first card says detachment. You are releasing old patterns and ideas that no longer serve your highest ideals of love. Love to see that, because I've been hearing all about the board, and I picked up the book Law of Attraction. That detachment is the key thing to the law of attraction, that if you want something to happen, you do kind of have to expect sort of not to have it, and be like, I do want it, but it's okay that I don't have it. But, you know, like, that's sort of how manifesting works, is being, you know, wishing, having prayers over, having affirmations, but then if you like put your focus on it after the fact that you've made an action, or an affirmation towards it, if you hang on to it and just like, well, when is this gonna happen to me? When is this gonna happen to me? When is it gonna happen? It's like, it's not gonna happen, because you're just waiting and waiting and waiting. It's gonna feel like an eternity. But if you know, want it to happen, and sort of put energy on it, and then let go, you gave that thing or event or situation or person the time and space to return the energy to you. You do need to give it time and space to return the energy to you. So once you've given an energy towards something, you know, like let it, like have patience. Let it simmer. You know, let it boil. Let it cook, or however you want to word it. And then after the fact, you know, you could put your energy onto something else that would bring, you know, quality or benefit towards you. So, you know, start somewhere, you know, maybe have one hobby and then flip over to the other hobby. I'll flip back and forth between painting and singing and shuffling out cards. And I feel like everyone has their perfect number that works for them as far as like how many hobbies that you enjoy doing, and switching those ones out from time to time. Like I'm not always doing the same 3 things. I'll switch things in and out, and having your own variety. And everyone has their own like measurement of variety that works for them, you know, like just have your own measure and know that about yourself. And really just once you put an energy onto something, and you've done enough, then pull your energy back and put it onto something new, and like let your work, you know, come back to you. Let the energy come back to you when the timing is right, and you'll see it. You'll be validated. There'll be lots of fun things that will occur when you can properly manage how to detach. Action. You have the courage to express the unique loving colors of your soul. You can definitely use this energy of detaching to, you know, when you put energy onto someone or work or whatever, and then you detach, you could take that action and be more expressive of who you are, and see if that catches anyone or anything new, because you never know like who or when, you know, like what's going to be called, or like what's going to be bringing 2 people or like a group of people together. Like what is going to be the center of the core of it, and that really is action, taking action on things that you love to do, right? Like you can really find community in, you love showing up to a concert, and then you find other people who also love concerts because you will meet them at a concert. And like that's the beautiful thing of just doing what you love. You find other people who just also love doing what you love, and you can then expand and grow on love, because and finding strength in that. You find like maybe you get so beaten down because all this time you've been independent, you've been on your own, and now the strength, you know, increasing your strength involves just finding other people who are strong with you, because it, you know, you are a lot like the people that are in your surroundings. So if you yourself are a strong individual, but the people in your surroundings are sort of more weak-minded or weak in their situations, you will soak that up. You will soak up that energy, especially if they exert that energy, and you're around it a lot. The energy exchange will sort of, it will remove the energy that you already have going for yourself, and sort of partially exchange it with someone who needs it. And while that's a great thing, and you care for your friends and want them to have the same perspective or the same energy as you, it does drain you. And so if you just take action and be more mindful about like where your energy placements are and where you're spending it, you can really be more fruitful with opportunities, or even being able to share your opportunities, and having, you know, when you see it, you speak up on it, like, hey, we can collab, or hey, we can talk about this like more at a different time, like let's make it a lunch. Like you just all, there's all sorts of lovely ways that you can communicate and connect. And I really love that. It's a responsibility, absolutely. But the card says, you are aware of the power of your thoughts and the amount of love you express. So expressing love is, especially me saying that with expressing love, is your responsibility to sort of choose what you do, right? If you stay home, well, not much is gonna be happening if you stay home unless you invite friends over and stuff. And like, you can definitely increase your home environment by having friends over. But some, we do have our limits, right? If we do need alone time, we do need social time. So knowing that measurement, following the joy. You delight in the love of life and bring a spirit of fun to all that you do. So making sure that whatever you do end up choosing, that it is all about being, finding enjoyment. Okay, and then moving on, we have the word card breathe. Okay, taking the steps, the deep knowing, take of the matters of like being able to understand like how you operate, you know, like noticing patterns within yourself. Hey, I realize that when at some point, you know, like patterns at some point when I'm experiencing this, that one, you know, once this happens, I'll stop. If you know that, then you can either warn the people in your surroundings not to flip out or not to have, you know, like make the situation worse. Like, you can definitely bring yourself to comfort and have responsibility over the things that you do have trouble over. You know, if you're open and honest and saying like, like especially with new friends, yeah, I do have trust issues. Yes, this is where I've been. Yes, I did have bad experiences. I don't want to be treated like this again. I like blah blah blah. It's okay to start with your boundaries, but breathing through that and breathing, just like breathing through these understandings and really hanging on to what would be rightfully, like, just what feels right ultimately. Because going into this reading, I feel like sometimes like, we've all done this either before or will have done it, or like, it's just that sometimes we choose something because we think someone likes it or would like it if we did do that, to impress or to just make someone else like, yeah, like, because you want to be closer to them, or and that's a lovely thing, is learning all these things. But if it was only for that person, just come back to things that are natural to you if you start forgetting who you are because you're soaking up so much of their energy. That's just maybe a specific message for some people who have been spending a lot of time with a strong energy and lost a little bit of yourself because you are putting a lot of your focus on somebody, right? That is a lot of focus on someone's energy. If you are, that person likes fill in the blank, so I'm going to try and be interested in fill in the blank. And that could be, you could be borderline a little bit resistant there because you're learning something new and you're not sure if you like it, and you're not sure about your opinion fully until you fully experience it. And it's okay if you do have, like, if you do like it or if you don't like it, or if you, you know, if you like it but not as much as that person. But just being more, truthful, I think, is how you would find the most peace when it comes to it. And being like, all right, well, I spent a lot of time focusing on this person and their interests, but for a little bit I'm going to go back to my interests. It could be a little bit of that. It could be quite a bit of things, actually, with the way that these cards are being pulled out. But take it how it works for you, you know, because there is this inner knowing of the things that do make you happy, of the things that do bring you peace. So if you've been choosing things that are different from that, you know, returning back to your home body, back to your, like, to you, the things that are natural and lovely to you, things that you find yourself doing and no one has to ask you to do it. You know, like, it's just that simple. Fork in the road. It may be a matter of being literally in a fork in the road. You're between one decision or another, one person or another. It could be many things here, but you're really at this, like, decision-making process, like, which direction do I go in? Do I go in maybe a safe direction? Do I go in after my passions? Do I go after something that is like like, you know, like a safe route versus unsafe route. Some of us have something that's already set up for us, and some of us have to like restructure our whole lives to get what we need and want. It just depends on what you've chosen in the past and what is in front of you that you get to choose right now today. What really needs to occur is something that would be fair towards your happiness, towards everyone involved. You know, if you're considering a law on if it would be fair for another, yes, yeah, consider if it would be fair for another. That's absolutely fine. You can have feelings towards not wanting to hurt another person, but how long have you been unfair to yourself, and like consider like minimizing the situation to be fairest to them, to everyone involved, and not just you or the other person. Like, it doesn't have to be so extreme. It doesn't have to be this person or this situation relies so heavily on me. If you are wishing to have more space or being removed from the situation, you are allowed to. You are allowed. That is a choice you are allowed to make. And someone's feelings are their bad feelings are bad feelings, and they will be there, but they are temporary. A lot of choices and things that we have going on are temporary. And that's the thing about how important it is to remind ourselves and actually perform in a way in which like it is a gift to have today and what's going on today, and appreciate and experience it today. And yeah, just without going too terribly deep for the collective, and being fair to yourself. Like, these things are temporary, right? And you are the one experiencing that, all of your choices. So make sure that your choices provide benefit or feedback or some sort of proactive thing for yourself, in order to just exist like in a manner that would be okay for you or excellent. That's all a choice, you know, like how much time do you want to spend doing this or that or this or that, this or that. That's all choices. Letting go. Everything is indeed out of control, and God will hold it all. I can safely let go. And this whole message on letting go is, I always have a little bit of a trip on it, because you do sort of have to let go of how you think something's going to happen, because you don't know. That is completely out of your control. You don't know. You can't possibly know. The only person or entity that can know is Source or God. And even then, like, we can't be playing, you know, and thinking we know everything, because we don't. And so you got to let go and be like, I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to experience it. I'm going to let it be shown to me. And that's it's a beautiful energy when you start trusting and be like, okay, I'll let it be shown to me. I'll let love be shown to me. I'll accept it. I accept love. And that's some hard affirmations to have. Like, I can't say I can fully embody that myself. I'm learning how myself, and I'm channeling it because I'm learning it. And now I'm learning it and becoming a teacher, and you guys are learning it. And I think it's just a great thing to be able to let go. Like, you just make the decision. Yes, I want to go. And then don't be worried about what happens after that. Just go and then see. But that could be like phrased any sort of way, a ton of different ways about something. Just having, like, letting go of an expectation of an outcome. Divine flow. Eventually one sublime desire takes precedence over all others, to follow the Tao, the divine flow, at all costs. So I feel like with this letting go and like this card coming out next to it, it just flows, divine flow. It flows really well together, because if you go with the divine flow rather than, you know, like you made a decision in the past, well, you're allowed to change your decision. if you make the decision and you're too hard-headed to make a different choice or change your mind, then you're going to be resistant towards your own heart and towards your own like love making decisions. Because I say love making and it sounds like so interesting to hear it like that, but because you think love making like sex, but it's like literally creating like your life, creating your love, creating like what you want out of things. And you can only create that by being in divine flow, by choosing what's best for you, choosing what you want, choosing your happiness every day. And if it's hard, it's going to be hard to do it. No matter like any choice, any situation is going to become hard eventually. Because if you're leveling up, think of it like a video game. Leveling up, it's like it's a higher level, so it's going to be more difficult. And so like think about it like that. Like when you grow, it is going to be a little bit more difficult, but if you find that you still enjoy it, that you still love it, that is that flow, that thing that you love or enjoy doing above all others, you will always return to that. And so if you just kind of keep doing it and not having like a specific thing going on in your head, like a specific future, you know, and let your future kind of just unfold its own self, instead of forcing a future to occur that isn't supposed to occur, you'll be much more free, and your timeline will be much more you than any other timeline. If that makes any sense. This card says expansiveness. It says eternity is far more creative than the rigid, constrained, and exhausted ego. So we are really bigger than our own egos, you know, like what we think we want, what we think in general, you know, the whole universe, source, all that stuff is way bigger than anything we can even imagine. And so we do have to sort of let go. I like inhaled my saliva. We definitely forget that we are human and are very limited to human things. We need to let go of our human things and really just let the universe show us love. Let the universe be love and validate, like, you know, be a source for love, that we can choose anything in the universe that reflects love to us, whether it's a hobby, action, a person, choosing a career choice, having a home life. Like all those things are choices that the universe can reflect back to us once we do make the choice. And we have liberation in reverse, though. It says the doubts and fears still come up. You don't believe anymore that they're you. And so again, with the humanness, we are very limited to our humanness. We do get afraid because we are uncomfortable, because we are human. We are trapped in human bodies. We are spiritual. We are stars. We are part of the universe. And we are in a human body that has a construct, a way of like existing that is, in my mind and body, feels pretty limited to like a degree, you know, like we can't, we can only go as far as our human brain can think, and see as far as we can see, and you know, like all that. And but you are like, you can release that through meditation. You can release that through taking action that's not fear-based, because I feel like a lot of our human limitation is fear-based rather than just being human and having the experience and being within a power, that we are a power within a human body, that we can expand and grow on that and manifest and work with the universe and work with ourselves and be in flow. And like, it's all like such wonderful energies to be reading. And I love that you guys are here and all that. With the close encounters, having very good connections that really that actually genuinely remind you of like your purpose is to just enjoy your human experience. Your purpose is just to be human. Your purpose is to live. You know, the fact that you live is a wonderful thing in and of itself. And the human things that we worry about are things that human beings have made. We created having bills. We created money as an exchange, but we have also created the barter system and trading, and there's alternatives. The power of purpose, remembering that your purpose, like I was saying, is just to be in within enjoyment. Into me I see. You see, like, just see what is within that. Like, the only way that someone can see into you is if you express it. If someone, the only way that someone can get to know you is if you express it. It's really hard to get to know someone who doesn't talk, or who doesn't, have it, like, and not to be discriminative towards people who don't talk, but it's like, then you have body language. Like, there's alternatives to be able to express yourself, but being able to tell your story is one of those things that, like, there's someone waiting for you to tell your story so that they can listen, so they can, either be a part of the story, join on the story, be there, add to the story, be a hero, be your villain, whatever it is. Okay, that it's a tale, a story to be told, and people are waiting to hear it. People are excited to have you go on your, like, people are just waiting. You are waiting, if anything, and so just don't wait anymore. No, like, we don't finally do the thing that we've all been waiting for, fall back in love, be in love with what you do, with the people around you, everything that you do. Be in this energy of love. Choose the things you love to do. Choose the people around you who love you, who you love back. Make it all a mutual thing. Don't be, like, and love is such an interesting way of being able to express it, right? Because, like, say that you personally don't like going to the store, but your loved one does and prefers you to go with them. Expressing love towards them is a little bit different. You love them enough to go to a store, to go shopping. Even though you don't like shopping, you love that person enough to do something you don't like. And that could be something, but something that would be a lot easier or flows better is if you do what you love to do in your own time. You'll find other people who love to do the same things, and you'll be able to find, like, all right, when I go shopping, I know I can hit up these people, so I'm not forcing my loved one to go. Because then that would be the other end of, I know that my partner doesn't like shopping, so I'm going to find someone who will go with me. Because I think that you would indirectly force your partner to want to go, because maybe you don't have someone to go with. And that's the beauty of having a community or friends to lean towards, so that one person is not your main, or like your only choice, your only place to go to. So just definitely expanding. There's all sorts of messages here that apply all sorts of different ways. Take it how it works for you. I am absolutely in love with being here and channeling many different situations, and being able to be the power behind helping, and the power behind connecting everyone as well. And anyway, I have just a few more of these left. Gonna go into a tarot, and then it's gonna be the end of the reading. Thank you so much again for being here. This card says, life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow and you will be surprised where it leads. So I feel like that's a giant thing, is like, if something started off romantic, it doesn't have to stay romantic. If something started off platonic, it doesn't have to stay platonic. It can grow into more. Your career situation, it could be many things, like choosing one situation and then the income, or like things in that work environment had changed and you need to have like a different flow. Just remember that life is constantly changing cycles. One minute we're getting a lot of money, the next minute we're not getting a lot of money. Like, one season you have a lot of appointments and the next season you don't. One season your favorite sports team is winning, and the next season your sports team is like not winning. So it's like there's always cycles like that. So enjoy it when it's high, get through it when it's low. Criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. And the last card says romance, Cupid's arrow strikes. So I feel like this is very direct of just love's coming in, no matter if you want it to be romantic. If you want it to be romantic, it definitely is coming in. If you don't want it to be romantic, this is definitely just saying that you're going to be in love with what you're doing coming up. Just take action now. Whatever's calling to you, do it. But let's end the reading on some tarot messages for the collective. What's going on? Let's get a little update for what's going on for Melly Monday. Two of Swords, the Hermit. What's going on for Melly Monday in the collective? What's going on in the collective for Melly Monday? The Hanged Man again, and the Innocence of Cups, which I think is the Page of Cups. One more, Spirit. What's going on with the collective now? This update for this reading. Heart of Cups. I think that's the Queen of Cups, but reverse and end back of the deck. Five of Wands. So the way I'm reading this here, Two of Swords, the Hermit, the Hanged Man, Page of Cups, reverse, Queen of Cups, reverse. All right, Two of Swords. I'm picking up just there's a lot that still needs to be seen by you. A lot to still yet be experienced by you. We're a little guarded, a little like, you know, our protective measures are a bit high right now considering what we've gone through. You may have been isolating or need to isolate yourself, need to protect your energy, and that's plenty all right, but don't be so hesitant, all right? It is easy to be scared of receiving what you want or having what you want foil, okay? We don't want that to happen. We so desperately just don't want our dreams to crash. And I feel like the fear stops us from even starting to begin with. With the Five of Wands, don't do that to yourself. Do not live a life of being separated from your heart or being separated from your passions because you're afraid of your passion, your dream, like falling through. I feel like that's just the lasting message that kind of everyone needs, is removing this fear of even starting. You feel so deeply towards it that you just stop yourself before even starting in. And the thing that you need to hear most is you're preventing the opportunity from even happening before it even happens. So this right here, the Sage, clear that energy, okay? Clear that energy. That's the exact opposite energy that you don't want to be in, like you are self-sabotaging. So I believe that's absolutely it, my lovelies. I don't think I have any more this week for Melly Monday. I have had a very eventful weekend. I'm going to be trying to get some stuff up over on the Melly Mood Museum and getting stuff together for the rest of Magic with Melly 2022 and planting seeds for that. So this week may be a little bit dull for tarot, but coming up in the next few weeks is going to be really exciting. If you want a personal read, reach out to me on any social media or minuteswithmelly@gmail.com, the email, and that is the official email for that, or Facebook or anything like that. I do have menus displayed on my social media. You can ask me questions, comment, DM, all that anytime. I look forward to hearing from all you guys. Lots of love, and I will see you in the future. Goodbye.